Hello, everyone. This is Rose. Today's topic from the Book of Life is If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. What does one do when the heart wants what it wants? Let's take a look at this short story from the Book of Life. Please leave. Just leave. Leave in peace, shouts John after he finished telling his wife of less than a year that he loves another woman. John and Rita met when both were in their late 20s on the set of a Broadway production play. John was a producer and Rita worked with wardrobe and makeup. John was attracted to Rita's figure. She has what John called an hourglass shape. John used to call Rita Brick House because her measurements were exactly the same as the woman described in the song Brick House. Each time John called her Brick House, he would laugh, then shake his head while saying, 36, 24, 36. What a winning hand. He would grab Rita around her waist, pull her into his chest, kiss her on the lips as he declares, you got what it takes to get this man. Don't ever lose your winning hand. Rita would giggle every time. It made her feel loved and wanted. She never gave thought to what John was actually saying. Many other women on set would joke with Rita about the brick house statement John would make regarding never losing her winning hand. Each time one of the women on set would observe Rita eating junk food, they would joke. Your brick house would soon become a sinking sandcastle if you continue to eat that junk food. Rita would laugh it off without a reply. Then other times she would say, don't be a hater. Rita delighted in the fact that she had the attention of her man as well as the women on set being haters. She did not feel threatened by the other women's remarks. Rita knew her small frame, shapely figure was in her DNA. She took after her mother, grandmother, and all her aunts. Rita would intentionally eat junk food in front of the women to get a reaction from them. All the women in the play were on a special diet. They had to make sure their weight did not change in order to fit into the wardrobe. Rita took advantage of that. You want to be a hater? I'll show you. I'm going to eat all the junk food I want. All the junk food you can't eat in front of you. How about that? The play moved around within the same state for several months. It was time to take it on the road in other states. Rita was excited about traveling from state to state with the play as well as with John. 1 month before the play was scheduled to travel to the next state, Rita became ill and had to be rushed to the emergency room. John was there by her side as well as her family. John and Rita's family were relieved to hear she would be okay after a couple of days in the hospital getting some fluid in her system with the help of IV. Rita was diagnosed with dehydration. The doctor informed Rita that she needs to eat healthier foods for the sake of the child she was carrying. What? Shouts Rita and John at the same time. The doctor looked at them both with amazement. I'm assuming from your reply, you do not know that you are pregnant. No, I did not know, replied Rita. The doctor asked Rita, when was the last time you saw your primary doctor? And when was your last menstruation? Rita said she did not know to both questions. She informed the doctor that she had been so busy with the play that she did not realize that she did not have a menstruation. John asked the doctor how many weeks or months was Rita. I take it you are the father, replied the doctor. John looked at Rita to answer the doctor's question. Rita became angry with John's reaction. Of course you are the father, shouts Rita. The doctor informed them both that Rita was 3 months pregnant. John asked the doctor would Rita be able to travel for work. Well, the doctor advised Rita to see her primary doctor right away, but he continued to say he feels it would be not good for her to travel at this time. It would not be good, he states. He says it's because of her poor diet. Her blood pressure is elevated and her heart rhythm is slightly irregular. And he tells her that the blood pressure is probably elevated from high sodium in the poor diet that she's been intaking, and her heart rhythm being slightly irregular could be a result of her consuming too many caffeinated drinks. Rita was devastated. She did not trust John to be on the road without her. She knew how those women were on that play that was there. She knew they was haters. They didn't want to see her and John together. They would waste no minute trying to get after him if they could, if she wasn't around. So Rita goes to see her primary doctor to get confirmation. And that's what she got. Her primary doctor confirmed the recommendations made by the emergency room physician. Rita expressed her concern to John and her fear of losing him if he travels without her. Rita was very upset. She was showing John a lot of emotions and concerns and constantly expressing her fear. John began to worry and became concerned about the child Rita was carrying. She was so emotional. He was telling her, Rita, this baby, you have to be stress-free for the sake of the baby. You have to calm down. But she was so upset. She wasn't calming down. So in order to keep her stress-free for the sake of the baby, John married her. He married her at the courthouse 1 week before he left town with the play. John was on the road traveling with the play 6 months without any physical contact with Rita. He would call her a few times each week to check on her pregnancy. Rita understood John's job required him to be on the road for months. However, she also knew that they had breaks in between each city, each performance in each city. Rita knew they had at least a 3 to 1 week break in between each city. She did not understand why John had not came back home for a day or two just to check on her in person. She didn't understand that. When John finally came home after the 6-month tour, he goes straight to his condo to sleep. Rita did not hear from him for 2 days. When he came over to her place, he did not act like he was with his wife. He did not act like she was his wife, who would be giving birth to their child any day now. He didn't. He talked to her like she was a co-worker about how the play went well. Rita asked John about them living together as husband and wife. John expressed that he wasn't ready for them to change from their current living arrangements. Then Rita shouts, "Why did you marry me?" John replied, "Because you are carrying my child." The conversation with John caused Rita's stomach to cramp. She became so upset because he replied with, "Because you are carrying my child." That's when it hit her. So she became so upset, her stomach began to cramp. John told Rita she has to calm down for the sake of the baby. At that moment, Rita's water breaks and she became in labor. She went into full labor immediately after that water broke. So John rushed Rita to the hospital, and 10 hours later, their son was born. John was so excited about having a son, he always wanted a junior. He purchased a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath house for Rita and his son. He moved some of his clothes into their new home. However, he kept his condo. 3 months after giving birth to their son, John informed Rita that the new play would start its tour in 2 weeks. Although John spent the majority of his time at his condo, Rita enjoyed having John at home with her and their son, but she understood he had to go back to work. During John Jr. nap time, while John Sr. was touring with the new play, Rita would search on social media to see what is going on in the world. She felt absence from the world for nearly a year. All of a sudden, pictures of John with the same lady began to surface. Rita thought, this must be someone who has a role in the new play. As she continued to search, she noticed the same woman was in pictures with John during the time of the first play. This was the play that she worked with John and the castmates from the play, the first play. So Rita thinks to herself, maybe this is someone who took my place, or maybe this is someone who's actually has a role in the play. It has to be someone that has a role in the play. Why is she in the second play? Rita began to form all these logical explanations in her mind of who this woman can be. So she decided to continue to do some search online. She was able to find a playbill online to see who was starting in the new play. She sees two of the women, the names of two of the women from the first play. And she said, okay, so they have new roles in this new play. Not sure who will reply back to her, Rita sent both ladies a text to say hello, and I asked them both how the play was going. 2 days after her text, Rita receives a phone call. Looking at the caller ID, Rita thought to herself, of course, the person who joked the most about my figure turning from a brick house to a sand castle is the one who calls me. Anyway, thought Rita, here goes. Hello, Sandy. How are you? Asked Rita. Hey, Rita. I was surprised to receive a text from you. You just ghost us without any word on what was going on with you. I'm sorry about that, states Rita. Well, it's okay, girl. John told everyone you wouldn't be back because you became ill from dehydration and during the examination, other illness was discovered due to you eating all that junk food. Girl, I always told you that brick house figure of yours was going to become a sinking sandcastle due to all that junk food you used to eat. Anyhow, girl, how are you feeling now? I'm doing well, thank you for asking. I noticed a new actress joined the playbill, and I see pictures of her with the crew. I'm curious because I see that she joined when I left. Shortly after I left, she joined the old play. What role did she play? I mean, and I see that she's with the new play. It looks like she could be approximately 5 feet 5 inches. She's a small frame girl with natural curly golden brown hair. Do you know who I'm talking about, Sandy? Sandy answered her. She said, girl, that's no new actress. That's John's new girlfriend. He did not waste any time finding a new girlfriend after you two broke up. So Rita goes, so he told you all that him and I broke up? Yeah, replied Sandy. Yeah, he said after you found out you were ill, you ended the relationship so that you can focus on your health. I was like, good for her. Good for her. Girl, within a week, Miss Sally came waltzing on the set like she owns the place. Oh, is that her name? Asked Rita. No, girl, that's what I call her. You know I got a nickname for everyone. I think her name is Jessica. Don't no one socialize with her too much. That's why I'm not too sure of her name, but I think he called her Jessica. I can tell he loves this one though. Well, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings by saying he did not love you, but it's something special about this one. He is definitely different around this one. I like who he is around Miss Sally. I can always tell when a man is in love, and he is smitten with this one. So she's talking to Rita, and then she realized the time. So Sandy says, look, girl, I need to get off this phone. I promised one of the ladies I would help her read lines tonight. She has to keep making up words because she can't remember her lines for nothing. She throws us off with those made-up lines. I must say, her made-up lines sounds better than the actual lines. Nonetheless, she's throwing everybody off trying to figure out what comes next after she make up lines. So, girl, it was good talking to you. And Rita's reply was, it was good talking to you also, Sandy. After Rita ends her call with Sandy, she begins to cry. She thought John loved her. She thought about all the times she would call the ladies haters because she thought they was jealous of her and John's love. Rita decided to Google the name Jessica using John's zip code at his condo as a secondary search filter. She wanted to know more about this girl. The name Jessica Boyd came up with the same address as John's condo. Rita texted Sandy back again, asking when do the current play takes its break. Sandy texted back stating in 2 weeks they would get a 1-month break before traveling to the next state. Rita made plans for her mother to babysit John Jr. She searches through John's things at the house. In the back of his sock drawer, she found a key box. Inside the key box was a key with the word spare on its tag. She was hoping the key was to his condo. Rita went to the condo. She asked herself why she never thought to ask John to invite her over. He always came to her place when they dated. Rita was surprised when she got to his condo to see how huge and beautiful John's condo was. It had a large kitchen with an island, a laundry room, a dining room, a large living room, 2 large bedrooms, 2 large full bathrooms, and a loft. The loft was above the dining room and it was used as an office. The condo had more female clothes and jewelry and personal items than male clothes and personal items. She did not recognize the clothes hanging in the closet. And she also saw that some of John's clothes that he once brought to her house was taken back to his condo and was hanging in the closet. She also noticed the female clothes were all expensive name brand. She can tell that someone was there before she arrived because of the wet towel laying across the hamper. Rita decided she wouldn't say anything to John. In 2 weeks, she thought, I would give him the surprise of his life when his play ends and he will return home. So she planned to make a surprise visit to the condo in 2 weeks. This time, she was going to go in the middle of the night, not during the day. A week after going to John's condo, he called home telling Rita the play had only a week break before the next show. He tells her the play is going to end soon, but it only has a week break before the next show starts in the next city, and that he was needed in that city to finalize the paperwork before the play. Therefore, he states to her, he would not be coming home for a break. Rita simply replied, okay, I understand, because see, Sandy had already gave her the ups on what was going on, that they was going to have a 1-month break, and she knew exactly when it was going to be. So 10 days after talking to John, see, Rita didn't want to go to the condo immediately after the play ended. She wanted to wait because she knew that he had a month break. So she waited 10 days after talking to John because she knew by that time he would be back at the condo. Rita had her mom keep John Jr. overnight. She got up from her bed at 1 in the morning. She brushes her hair back into a ponytail, then threw on some sweats and sneakers. She grabs the key John kept in his sock drawer. This time when she arrived at his building, the front entrance door was locked. She pushed a button to talk to the front desk about losing her front door key when a couple who was getting out of an Uber walked up to the front door. They had a key to the front door. They overhear Rita telling the attendant that she has her key to her condo but lost the front door key. So the couple looks down at her hand, see the key in her hand. The couple who walks up, they shout to the attendant through the intercom and say, "It's okay, Jeffrey." And they announce who they were. And then they say, We see that the lady speaking to you, she does have a key to one of the condos in the building. We'll let her in. You don't have to open the door. We will let her in. Jeffrey sounds sleepy and was grateful someone else was able to help out. Rita thanks the couple. Rita exits the elevator on the 8th floor as the couple travel to the 12th floor. Rita unlocked the front door with ease when she reached John's condo. She made sure she did not make a lot of noise. So she easily unlocked the door and eased the door open. She walks into the first bedroom where the door was halfway open. Both John and Jessica were sleeping in bed. She stared at them for a brief moment. Then she takes out her cell phone from her pocket, then proceeded to call John's number, his cell number. He reached over with his eyes closed as he picks up the phone, half looking at the number, then hit the red button to end the call. Just as he was putting the phone back down on the nightstand, Rita hit redial. John kept clicking the red button without turning over in bed. So she kept hitting redial. Because John's phone kept ringing and he kept clicking the red button, Jessica asked John, "Who is that calling?" She didn't turn over to face John. She just shouted, "Who is that calling?" without turning over. "No one," replied John. "Go back to sleep." Rita hits redial 2 more times when suddenly Jessica sits up because she was angry and wanted to know who kept calling him in the middle of the night. So she jumps up, and when she sits up in bed, as she turns to look at John, she sees Rita standing at the door of their bedroom. She begins to scream. Jessica is screaming. This caused John to jump out of bed to see why Jessica was screaming. He turns on the lamplight to see his wife, Rita, standing at the door. "Hi, John," shouts Rita. "What the F is going on?" shouts Jessica. "Who is this person in our home?" Rita calmly tells Jessica, "I should be asking you that question. You are the one in bed with my husband." "Your husband? What the hell is this lady talking about, John?" John was speechless. He just stared at them both. He couldn't believe Rita was standing in his condo. Rita continued to talk to Jessica. "So Jessica, you are telling me that you don't know that you are sleeping with a married man and the father of our son, John Jr.? "Wait," shouts Jessica. "How do you know my name?" "How do you know the man you are sleeping with is married?" shouts Rita. "Or is not married?" shouts Rita. Jessica looks at John with tears in her eyes. She tells John, "I really need you to break your silence and your stare and talk to me right now. You need to do some talking." "What is going on, John?" asked Jessica. "What is going on?" "Yeah, John," shouts Rita. "Tell Jessica what is going on." John, at that moment, he turns, he looks at Jessica in her eyes. He gently wipes the tears from her cheeks with his fingers before grabbing a tissue. He tells her, "Baby, I am so sorry. I never told you. I found out my ex-girlfriend was pregnant the same week I was planning to tell her our relationship was over because I had met you. I know this may sound crazy, but if loving you, Jessica, is wrong, I don't want to be right. If being right means losing you, I'd rather be wrong but feeling right. The only reason I married Rita is because her pregnancy was an at-risk pregnancy due to health complications. I did not want to lose my child because I upset his mother. Rita became very upset and fearful of me not being with her when she couldn't travel with the play. Therefore, I married her. I didn't know what else to do. I married her 1 week before my flight was to leave for the play. I was under a lot of pressure and did not know what to do. I felt the life of my child was the most important thing in the world at that moment. This is the only reason I married her. We haven't been together as husband and wife in an intimate way at all. I bought her a house, hoping that would help ease the pain of me telling her that I do not love her, but I love my child with all my heart. I was hoping she would see how this marriage was forced on me. I was hoping she would see we were only together because of us working together. I had to be very careful in how I ended the relationship because we worked together. I did not want it to affect our work environment because we still had a job to do. Then John turned from looking at his woman, Jessica, from looking at Jessica. He turns from looking at Jessica and he turns to look at Rita. Rita, you know this is not a marriage that we have here. You know that. We are not sexually active with each other. I believe you know in your heart this is not a marriage made in heaven. This is an arrangement because of my son. Please do not withhold my son from me. I brought you to a house. I will make sure I pay child support. But I no longer want to pretend to be a husband to you. We have been married less than a year. I will file for an annulment so that we can end this pretend marriage. I just want my child. That's all I want from this, is to be able to be a father to my child. Rita was heartbroken. She was so heartbroken, but she couldn't deny what John spoke was truth. She knew it. She knew it in her spirit. She threw his key on the bed before turning and walking out his condo with tears in her eyes. Click the thumbs up and the subscribe button. Be blessed, be safe, peace, and remember to click that thumbs up.